this section, and yeah, we'll just see how it fishes. I'm not too keen on catching anything, only because I have the GoPro on a little floaty, and so I sent it through basically where most of these fish like to hang out. So I may have already put these fish down, but you know, it'd be cool to catch something following that. But yeah, we'll see. So anyway, 10.5 foot 6 weight, or sorry, 10.5 foot 3 weight. I got about 2 feet to my top dropper, and I'm running 2 midges. Just gonna tight line nymph it here and see how that goes. But running a little riffle that drops into a pool, and you'll be able to see that here in a bit. All right, running a couple of the ICU midges. Hard to see because they're wet and a little abused actually. Caught some fish the last time I was out. So anyway, starting in close. Did run a GoPro over these fish just a moment ago on a bright yellow buoy. So we'll see if they're even still there. Kind of thinking they may have just bounced out. We'll see, we'll find out. Got a slight breeze pushing downstream, which I guess is a little more preferential than an upstream breeze. But we're running 2 size 16 2/8 mil beaded nymphs, and you know, any little breeze can influence their drift and make it a challenge to keep your flies holding in the drift you want them to be in. And as you've seen in prior videos, if the breeze picks up more, which it is expected to, I'll probably throw an indicator on and just run that. But to start off with, to deal with this wind, I may just go a little heavier on my nymph, my point fly, just to create a little bit more of a ballast to keep the flies down in the zone. Some weight to counter the push of the breeze on the leader, and I'll try that out. But yeah, let me throw a couple more casts with this, and we'll see where we're at. Let me go ahead and change that point fly. Go size up. So I went to a size 14 May I See You nymph. So just giving it a little bit more. That size 14 has a 3/3 mil bead, so a little more weight, a little more ballast. Try and hold the position of the flies a little bit better in the water column. But as well, I know this water down here is a little colder, so we may not see too much activity from these fish, just in general. All right, so we moved down into some slower, deeper stuff. We got a little side channel that pushes some current out, and then we got the main channel that comes along the bank basically. So the main current actually runs a little bit further out that way, and this little side channel kind of pushes more water, the surface current, out that way. However, there's a trough that is on that other two-thirds side basically on the out there. So the trough is kind of out away from us. So really, in order for us to target that area, a indicator or suspension rig is definitely going to be the way to do it. So I'm going to go back with the Midge on the point, get these flies down, size 16 to 8 mil beads. I am going to add an indicator, and really all I'm doing to my Euro rig is just putting an indicator onto the sighter. So where my tippet ring connects my sighter to my tippet, that's where I'm putting it. So indicator, tippet ring, tippet. Got about 2.5 feet to my dropper fly, and then about 2 feet to my point. Gotta get that cast out there pretty far. Try with that there. And so my rig right now is about 4.5 feet down from indicator to the point fly. And I think the deepest where the trough is, I'm not anywhere near where the trough is. I want to get out further. Is about, I want to say probably about 6 feet. Give that a go again there. I may need to move down a little bit so I can open up my casting lane behind me. Yeah. Let's move down a little bit here. Okay, so that opens up a little bit more casting. I don't know how much. It's pretty tight in here. There we go. There it is. So now I'm out where I need to be. I'm not showing any sign of hitting bottom, so I'm thinking of moving that indicator up. So I dropped it down about 16 inches, 2 color segments on the Rio two-tone cider material. Just trying to get down a little closer to the bottom. A little more access to those fish. Nobody home there. Let's move up. Alright, we're up here. Ooh, there's some rising on some midges, tons of midges on the water right now. See if I can get, and they're rising. And I left my my midge dries at home that I tied up for today. So we were further downstream, and there was not near the midge activity as we're seeing right now down there compared to up here. Huge difference in temperature, environmental consistency, if you will. Try and get some footage of these midges. Well, we'll try the nymphs. Although, I don't know. I have a couple midge patterns, but they're not my, I don't know. I was really excited to use those little ones. Let's throw dries. I just tied on another midge, and got this dang wind. So again, just cutting off my nymphs. I'm just gonna tie a dry straight to my point. Oh, this isn't gonna help. This wind picks up and basically creates chop on the surface, which does make it harder for these fish to really target some of these dries. But on the flip side too, it's gonna make it hard for us to see our dries. Let's see, battery had died. We got a Midge on here, Midge dry. It's about a size 18 actually, I think. So definitely bigger than what's actually hatching, but we'll just give it a try nonetheless. So I'm gonna try and target a fish. I got a couple fish sitting right over here. Nice thing with the bigger dries, hopefully it'll stand out a little more than the naturals that are there. So try and cast not too far above it, so that way it's able to see this dry. And one, but there's so many dries that there he's looking. Got him. I was gonna say we're in contention with a bunch of these fish, so getting them to take is a little tough. Oh, and he's off. Man, I wish I had the big camera with the long lens. It's hard though, because I gotta have somebody to focus in. Anyway, that was cool. Let's try another one. So again, this dry is a little bigger than what we're actually seeing on the water. To our benefit, that's going to draw attention to this fly. Hit it with some floating. See if we can find another one here. Ooh, there's a good one. There we go. Come on, buddy. Just got pulled in a little bit. So obviously we're running a Euro leader, which is fairly thin to begin with. Really tough to turn in this wind. There's one headed right for him. Come on, buddy. All right. Didn't eat ours, ate the midge that was sitting on our line. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So with this rig, now that I'm on the dry fly, I'm making short, abrupt casts, and I wish I had my other camera set up so you can see how I'm casting. But keeping my rod, ooh, that was a nice one. Just didn't see our dry. Oh, here it comes. There we go. Speaking of casting, but short, abrupt strokes. Really utilizing the rod tip to get the flex in the rod. Do love a good dry fly session. Not gonna lie. Sucks when it's windy though. Yeah, they're back up. Short strokes. Isolate the rod tip to do the casting for you. There we go. Oh, here he comes, looking at it. There he is. Oh, he was turned, going towards me, or coming towards me. And when I set, basically it was pulling towards us. Hold over, stock rainbows, but you know, they're wanting to come up. They're wanting to play. All right, we gotta find another one here. So 16 on point to help build this breeze. All right, well, let's see if we can pick up a couple more and come on.
Well, let's call it a day. Got Povey over there. She's cold. I'm getting cold. That front's coming in, and it's just wind is too much. Should have got up here earlier. Should have stayed up here. Anyway, that was cool getting some on the dries while that lasted, and that was fun. Oh, poor Povey. She's cold. Okay, let's get out of here. Good